Rock and Roll Trucker.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Trucker, the channel that likes to rock and roll, the channel that likes to play. We love to eat, we love to truck, we love to see the world around us and just have a big old time. Come on in and have a seat, let's have a good chat. We'll tell you where we're going, we'll tell you where we've been. Yes, that is me playing the music.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, it's afternoon, not morning. I didn't have to go very far to do everything I had to do this morning, so I just hopped up, slept in a little bit, hopped up, got at it, and got things done. Went and got me a biscuit in the Petro, and got myself all ready and took off. Went to our receiver a little bit early. They got us in a reasonable amount of time, and then we took off, and we had about 40 miles or something like that to go. We had a load lined up to go pick up in Gordonsville, Virginia. We went and got that. They were pretty quick there, but it was just kind of in the backwoods a little bit. Took a little bit to get there, but we're loaded up. We're going to Nashville for tomorrow, so we're very well set up to go home. The only real adventure I had was this morning when I woke up. I don't know if you remember the previous video where I lost my air conditioner a couple of weeks ago and had to get that fixed. It's been blowing ice cold, freezing air. Just a lovely, lovely situation. It was freezing cold when I stopped yesterday. When I cut the other video off, I backed into my spot, hit my air, let the truck run for a minute and cool itself down and cycle through. I shut it down, blowing cold. Fired up the APU, everything was good. Got up this morning. I never started the truck again throughout the whole night until this morning. Fired the truck up and immediately the air conditioner doesn't work. It's like it's doing nothing. Blowing air out, but not cool air, just the fan working. Not clicking, not sounding like it's trying to engage or nothing. You know, I get up underneath the hood to investigate, and it's just not kicking in. The compressor's just not kicking in. The clutch is not engaging. It's not doing anything. I have no idea what's going on. I checked the fuses and relays and stuff, and everything seemed good there. So I hollered at my guy that put the compressor on for me and explained to him what was going on. And I was like, man, you don't think this compressor's already gone back out? And he goes, no, that don't sound like it. He said he thinks it might be something to do with the high pressure switch that is acting foolish in there. We don't know. But then, magically, I was in the middle of unloading and shut the truck off and monkeyed around under the hood investigating stuff again. I'd shut it off a few times, and then the final time I started it back up to pull out of where I delivered, and bing bang boom, it starts blowing out cold air again. It's blowing out cold air right now, so we're thankful for that, but we got a mystery on our hands, so we'll see if we can't try and figure that out this weekend. But I don't want to, it's going to be hot enough, you know, around home. I don't want to go anywhere even hotter and risk not having the AC there. These newer trucks, here we go, yawning again. Somebody back there is being bad. One of you viewers, you're yawning, making me yawn. But these new trucks, these newer style trucks, the windshields are so massive on them, and they don't really put a lot of them, at least in stock form, they don't put visors on them anymore. So you got a little bit extra sun there, plus the giant windshield, and then you got the big Unibuilt, sleeper that they just turn into hot boxes, and you get residual heat coming up through the floor from where they got all the particulate filters and the regen stuff and everything, and it can turn into a hot box real quick when the sun's beaming down on them, even going down the road with the windows open. So it's not awesome to lose your AC in these things. I can deal with it in the car a little better, but in these trucks, man, they really, really can get hot. Especially these newer ones. They're just, I said, the windshield, the windows and everything are just so huge. So much sun coming in through them. But it's blowing cold now. We got loaded up. We got about 40,000 pounds in the box. We just come off a cat scale. I got it pretty close. I've been driving long enough to where I'm not always perfect, but it's one of those things that comes with time of doing the job. And I had my axles set one way when I loaded, and I thought it would be okay, but I looked at it and I was like, I think I'm going to go a couple of holes, and we moved them a little bit, and then we got to the cat scale, and I was pretty close to being spot on just with my eyeball job. I was 31 and some change on my drives, I think, and I was 30 and some change on one set, and 30 just up above 31 on the other. So I was within 1,000 pounds and very legal on both, just from eyeballing. We could have adjusted another hole or two and got them dead even, but that's close enough for me right now. I just want to get pointed towards Nashville. I want to go home. Yeah. We're going to have this there by noon tomorrow. I got to look and see what their facility looks like online and see if it looks like there's going to be a place for me to park right downtown off of 440 in Nashville, I believe, from what I saw. I just got to examine a little further. It's a small place, not like a big factory or anything. It's kind of small, so we got to figure out if there might be a place to get in and hide in their parking lot until morning. That's where we're at. We just jumped back on 81. We're about to, here in a minute, pass back right back by where we stayed last night on the Ray Fiend exit over there. So that'll tell me we'll have about, let me see, that's 205. We're passing the 210s. We got 210 miles of Virginia to go before we hit 81 in Tennessee there. We'll see how far we make it this evening before we'll see if we go all the way, if we just feel like stopping. When I get there, I can deliver between 7 and noon. I may end up stopping early and finishing the drive in the morning just so I can get in there, and as soon as they get done unloading me, I can leave, rather than, we'll see how it works out. Because, if I get there late tonight and park on their property, be able to I can sneak into the dock and unload, but I won't be able to take off and leave until my 10-hour break is completely up. So we gotta see how we want to play it. We could always figure out how to do split sleeper with it if it came down to it. If we wanted to play the game a little different way there, we'll get out of Virginia and see what it's looking like though before we start making those definite decisions. I got to pull over here a little bit and make me a sandwich or something. I was going to do it at the truck stop, but stopped at the 213 exit with the Loves and the Pilot back there to do the cat scale. And those places are a mess. They're just laid out awful, especially the Pilot. Drivers now anymore, they just don't care about just completely getting in the way and looking at you like you're stupid. So it was easier just to get in and get out. We'll make another stop for our sandwich or whatnot, whatever we decide to settle on there. But yeah, that air conditioning adventures, we've unloaded, we've deadheaded, we've loaded. So we missed a little bit this morning, but I was kind of in a hurry, and it was kind of a scramble to get things done, and it was kind of a little slightly hectic route figuring out which official way to go into where I was at, because where I had to pick up, because there was like non-truck routes and trucks above 65 feet not allowed to go in, and it was so it took a little effort to actually get in there. Wake up, dummy. Wake up, you big dummy. Yeah, so yeah, I believe I'll get off here and get on down the road a piece, find me some energy drink or some coffee or something and a sandwich, and we will proceed to get on down the highway. Y'all wait on me, and I will definitely be back to talk with you some more. See y'all in a little while. concentrating on making my second pickup, or making my pickup to get my home load. So I haven't been on here as much. And it's been, other than my air conditioner adventure, well, yeah, that was an adventure. It was probably more of a nerve-wracking adventure just trying to cat scale my load, though, at those truck stops earlier. I think I mentioned that. But now we're down here. We made it out of Virginia. We are officially back into Tennessee at the moment on 81. Mile marker 55. I'm down to roughly an hour and 10 minutes on my time. And I'm not going to make it all the way to Knoxville, where my cheaper fuel is at right now. And I've not made it as far today as I was hoping. I've not stopped for anything. Just the schedule as a whole, and having a heavy load and trying to run through 81 and through Virginia there is getting to be a nightmare to drive on. It's real hilly to begin with, so it's kind of a booger with a heavy load, but then there's just traffic everywhere piling up, and I could never get myself up to the speed limit to get any momentum going up the next hill or anything. So it was just a really slow going, so I have not made it near as far as I would like. But I think we're going to stop at the TA at the Davy Crockett Travel Center down here at exit 36. I'm going to breeze in there and see if by chance they might have a parking spot for me. I don't know if they will or not. I don't know if I've ever actually stayed there. I've stopped there quite a bit, but I don't know if I've ever stayed there, and I've never paid any mind to how full and how quick they get full. But that's going to be our first attempt for calling it a day. So that was mile marker 54 point something there, so less than 20 miles to go. I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch. I had a biscuit at the Petro this morning before I headed out to go do the delivery. That was the last thing I had to eat. That's been quite a few hours now at this point. Quite a few. I was intending on making myself something, and when I cat scaled the load, but as I mentioned earlier on the other clips there, that it was just too much of an insane madhouse. So we just let that go by, and I kept telling myself I was going to stop somewhere else, but then it was just so slow moving that I just didn't want to have to try and build back up momentum to jump back out on the interstate and get going, and end up even slower than I already was. It was really kind of a frustrating drive there for a little bit of 81 there. People have just lost their minds anymore, and I don't know how there's so many people on the interstate at any given time all the time now. It's like, does anybody ever go to work or go home? Because the interstates are just completely full all the time, and it's even out in areas where it didn't used to be like that out in the Midwest there, out in Iowa and stuff. I've noticed a significant spike in the amount of traffic out that way the last few weeks from what I remember years ago. I don't know where everybody's on the move to all the time. I don't know how everybody has this money for travel and stuff all the time. I mean, I'm out here traveling to try and get paid. I don't know where all these people are getting paid to go and travel. Mystery to me that I don't think I'll ever figure out or have solved. Man, well, there's lots of road gators out today. There seems a lot of blown tires and blown tire casings today. I saw a poor fella have one blow up on his trailer earlier after I picked up my load. I could see it in my rear view mirror. He come flying up on me pretty quickly and he got probably 4 or 5 truck lengths behind me, and then I just saw the big poof of dust behind him, and then he just quickly went for the dive off to the shoulder there to get her pulled over, and it exploded pretty good on him there. Oh man, it is still hazy, still super hazy. It's been hanging over the mountains and stuff all day long. I heard it was getting pretty thick at home over around Chattanooga there too. Just everybody got this mess this week. I saw a whole lot of rain earlier in the week and everything, so I'm not itching to drive in the rain, but all this stuff hanging in the air, we could sure use a little bit of a shower to kind of push some of it down and out. I know there's some more behind it that'll come, but I mean, I can't imagine that a little rain wouldn't help wash some of this stuff away. So nice little 15 20-minute heavy rain shower wouldn't be too bad everywhere right now. So I started to yawn again. And it just now occurred to me there too, not only is it this crazy air, I never factored in, you know, when you're yawning, that's your body, you know, telling you, hey, you're not getting enough air. It happens every time when I'm talking on here, with all of the talking I'm doing. Must not be using good breathing technique while I am talking to all of you folks. I just now put that together, that I think that's part of it. I keep the camera kind of far away from me here, and I think just to compensate, I feel like I'm forcing myself to talk a little bit louder, so I believe I'm expelling more air than what I would in a normal conversational tone. I'm trying to make sure that, you know, that I get picked up where you folks, you fine people can hear me there. And I believe that might be part of it, why I'm always yawning on these videos when I do this. We're thinking, using that thing up there, whatever that's called, my head, my brain. Not using it too good, am I? Can't even think of what my brain is called up there. My brain is called its my medulla oblongata and all that stuff up there. I need to put it to better use. Going crazy as sitting up in here by myself all the time. All I got to talk to is myself and all of you people, and I can't even see you people. Talking to you through this tunnel they call satellite. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just rambling off. And I was talking to all you folks via internet and satellites. So it's like I'm just going crazy. After a couple of weeks, I start to get a little loopy. Where are we at? 48. We got about 12 more miles to go. I don't know if I'll be able to talk my way all the way in to the truck stop or not. I don't know if I have 12 more miles of material, y'all. I don't think I do. I'm not feeling like a real interesting human being today. I'm definitely not the world's most interesting man off of the Dos Equis commercials. Not today, anyways. I will. I'm going to go ahead and stop this for a minute, and we will reconvene when I get a little closer. I'll ride you in, and we'll hunt a parking spot together. So let me holler back at you here in like 5-6 miles, something like that. See you in just a very, very short few. Just like magic, I'm back. We're only 4 miles away now. I think that I can keep us occupied for 4 miles. We're at mile marker 40.2. I really didn't want to stop way back here. I was hoping to get, I was really in my mind, I was hoping that this day was going to lead me to getting past Knoxville, but such is life. I was hoping to not have to put so much of a drive in the morning to get there and have to deal with the Nashville traffic at the time of the morning at which I'm going to have to be dealing with Nashville traffic. That town has gotten completely 100% out of hand with morning and afternoon traffic. They have filled that city up so far full of people and transplants from other parts of the country that it's not even the same city to me anymore that I used to spend a lot of time there back in, you know, way back in my younger days, way back in the very early 2000s and stuff. And when I was in high school, I'd sneak off to concerts and stuff down there, and used to go there when I was a kid and all. And it's just man, it is so far removed from what it once was, and it is so full and crowded. Nashville is definitely bigger than Chattanooga, but it shares, or it always traditionally did share in the idea of it's rather than it's more of a very big town, you know, as opposed to a small city. To me, you always kind of had that feel. It's like, but it's not anymore. It is full to capacity, growing out, growing up, and just not the same to me. And as far as truck driving through it, man, morning times and afternoon times are something else. It gets you one way coming in and gets you the other way going out. Just like full-blown gridlock for miles in each direction. you got 65 and 24 and 40 all passing through there, and depending on, you know, which direction it's backed up, it'll be, depending on what time of day, it'll be backed up miles in every single direction, you know, on 3 different interstates. And then you've got the 440 loop going around the city there, and it just comes to an utter and complete halt. So I was not really looking forward to having as much of a drive into Nashville in the morning as I'm going to have, because it's going to put me a little more right in the middle of the traffic, losing a lot more time. But I mean, as of right now, I'm not picking anything else up. I told my person there to, if possible, if I know it's rather specific, but if anything just happens to show up, you know, if you got anything picking up pretty close to right inside Nashville tomorrow that may deliver, you know, within 50 miles or so of Chattanooga on Monday or whatnot, that I would be open to looking at that just to get a little tiny bit more revenue in. I don't think it's going to happen though, so probably after we deliver, we're probably just going to jet straight back towards Chattanooga and get home. But here we are on exit 36. There's the TA, the Davy Crockett Travel Center. So they put a IHOP in there. It's yet another TA that has farmed out their food. At least it's not the fast food. IHOP's a little bit better than... They all love to put Popeyes in them now. There for years, when I first started, and a lot of them still have it, the trucking industry used to beat us over the head in the truck stops with Subways. I mean, it was a Subway at every stop. I mean, it just... Us drivers would eat Subway until we just were blue in the face from it. Just was all like the offerings a lot of them had. And then they've started really trying to cram the Popeyes in a lot of them now. So they've got a Dunkin' Donuts in here and Papa John's. I guess they got like an express Papa John's in there. And IHOP. IHOP's a little better than some of the other alternatives, I suppose, but I just miss the old school truck stop restaurants and diners and little coffee counters. And some of the newer drivers, I don't know if there's any left anymore that are labeled as it. A lot of them, way back when, you would get at the little diners at the truck stop counter, at the coffee counter. I'm stumbling all over my words, but there'd be like notations and little signs that would specify, you know, CDL holders only. It would be like drivers only sections. And you could go plop down, and if you weren't a talker, you could just sit down, order you a coffee, order you a dinner, lunch, whatever, and just sit and listen. You could just sit and listen, and this man, oh man, you will hear some stories like you never thought possible. And it was very entertaining a lot of times. That was a good time killer. If you wanted a little bit of social interaction but didn't really want to talk or anything like that, you could just go sit and listen. Just go sit and listen. And just a good time sometimes. And, you know, of course, that was back when coffee didn't cost, you know, $2.50, $3 for a cup, and, you know, $3 for a soda or whatever, you know. It was hasn't been that many years ago. It was just a completely different thing. They've got these 2 different sets of lines on these parking spaces, and I'm not sure which ones you're supposed to go by here. Let's go over here. I don't like that. I can't tell. They got like yellow line. They had like white straight lines, and then I guess to restructure and try and cram more spaces in, it looks like they've painted diagonal lines in favor of the straight lines, and it is that was really confusing. So we're just gonna go over here to this side. This looks right nice right here, and I've only got one set of lines. So we're gonna park here. Here we are. Here we go. See if we can get lined up in one. Caught a glare. The sun started glaring down and lost all the lines. And we lost our angle. We're going to have to do I'm about to do one of these rookie pull-ups, guys. No truck on either side of me there, and I'm having to do a pull-up. This is my first day driving, y'all. I just got my CDL. Just got my CDL, y'all. That's pitiful, ain't it? 18 years in and out of this, and I had to do a pull-up on an angled space with no other trucks around me. It's alright. It's alright. Apparently I can be perfect most of the time, just not all the time. No, I'm rarely knocking on the door or in the realm of perfect. That is for certain. How far can we go back? I'm gonna pull up a little bit. I'm about off the edge of the concrete there. I just know somebody's gonna come in late and park that white truck right there. Somebody's gonna come pull right alongside him in not a parking space. And I won't be surprised if it's two of them, and they'll make it difficult on me to get out. I don't know, this time of the evening, if with all these spaces left, this place might not fill up. I don't know. Might not fill up. Well, folks, I pulled the brakes. Well, I've got to fill up my post-trip inspection and all that stuff on my e-logs here and change my duty status. And then I'll eat. I'll probably come in here and say good night to you folks. I can't go to bed without some closure for the day and wishing you all a good sleep. So I'm gonna get off for a few minutes and I'll probably come back for just a short bit. So hang out. We'll get you a snack or some dinner or something. We'll both get full. Talk to you in a bit. Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm in here roaming around. I went in and got me some IHOP. I ate. I've been to this truck stop a few times in my life, but I didn't know this was back here. I guess the family that owns this place, the Crockett Travel Center here, I guess they own a farm back here. And they've got like a little park. These old trees, these old grand old trees. They got picnic tables and grills out here. And you go to this area, they got a fine dog playing area here. Let's look at that. Look at that. Nice big play area for the pups. And then you got this. It says, welcome professional drivers and travelers. Feel free to walk around the pond and relax. Go through this little gate here. You got some picnic tables. And you just got a pretty pond out here. You can just come out here and reflect and relax and chill out. It is a gorgeous, comfortable temperature out here right now. Got the mountains in the background there. And look at that. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. That is quite different and way better than the norm you get at most truck stops. So that is very nice. Once I let you guys go off that last clip, I got to looking at my hours and I felt kind of silly. That was not my hours running out completely for the day. That was my 8-hour stretch telling me I needed to take my 30-minute break. I thought it gave me the hours of service violation warning, and I thought I was completely done. And it didn't quite make sense to me in my head, but I just didn't think anything of it. And I went and did my pre-trip and everything. And I had hours to drive. I could have got on down to Knoxville or past, but then I got to an exam in it and everything. That would have allowed me to have slept in earlier and everything and shortened my drive up getting into Nashville. But if you do the math, I would have still been getting there around the same time in the morning. I would have just been driving a shorter time. So I thought about pulling back out and leaving, but then I said to heck with it. Went and got me a pretty tasty dinner in the IHOP there. And now I found this little spot out here, so I'm kind of satisfied I stayed. It was my dumb fault. I was just loopy, I guess. Didn't think nothing of it. That's the first time I've ever made that mistake. But yeah, I had about 3 hours left I could have driven. But, you know, since I'm not really under the gun and I'm going home tomorrow anyways, might as well stop and relax. Chill out for a few hours. Yeah. Not a bad place to stop, huh? I did not know this was back here. All these years of driving, stopped at this place multiple times. I had no clue. No clue. This is very nice, and this will make me stop here again in the future if I end up in a position to need to spend the night near here. I would ordinarily pass by here and just use it as a snack stop or a fuel stop or something, but yeah, this will bring me back. I'll take a 30-minute break here and come reflect by the pond. But yeah, that's where we're at. We've ate dinner. We've made a mistake for the day, a pretty wild mistake on my hours there. Just
That's the first time I've ever had that happen on all my days of driving, but it worked out for the better. But I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna chill out and relax by this pond for a minute and then go watch a little TV and do my little elastic band exercises and get prepared to drive that longer stretch in the morning and get that load off and go home. Y'all have a good night, good morning, wherever you're at, whatever it is. And I'll get back, I'll do some more music tomorrow. This was an odd video today. It was an odd day. Y'all have a good one. Talk to you later.